नमस्ते बहनों और भाइयों, my friends, very good morning to you. Friends, today I would like to share my story with you. Friends, when I was just 25, I was diagnosed with cancer, Hodgkin's lymphoma. That was cancer of the limbs. This is way back in the year 1998. At that time, it was stage 2B of cancer, and according to the doctors in India, the cure rate was 90%. So I got my chemotherapies done here in India in the year 1999. After completing my chemotherapies, I got back to my normal profession, and about 3-4 months were fine, but after that again I could feel some swelling in my region right here and in my armpit region right here. So I again went back to the doctor in India, and he told me to get a scan done. The scan was done, and the scan said that the cancer had come back in 4 months, and this time it was very aggressive. This had gone down even till the abdominal region now. The doctors in India recommended that I should go for a bone marrow transplant, because that was the best way out in such a scenario. So I, along with my parents, decided to go to the United States for a bone marrow transplant. There we reached UCI Medical Center, which is in Orange County, just next to Los Angeles. I showed my reports to the doctor in the United States, and according to the doctor, this was a good case for a transplant. So he told me the entire scenario of the transplant, how the transplant would take place. Ultimately, I got my bone marrow transplant done in the United States in the year 2000. After the transplant, the doctor again gave me about 25 sittings of radiotherapy, and the whole treatment plan was for about 3 to 4 months. After all this, the doctor in the US got my scans done, and according to the scans, I was cancer-free. Doctor congratulated me saying, "Mr. Vague, you've got new life and now you're cancer-free." I and my parents were elated. We were very happy hearing this, and we came down back to India. 2000 onwards until 2003, and I was doing fine. I was doing my profession and I was doing good. At about the end of 2003, what I saw was that I started feeling a little bit weak. And the region just below my collarbone, the region just below my neck right here, I could feel as if some sort of pus discharge is coming out from that region. Because earlier in the year 1998, when my biopsy was done, the tumor was taken out from the region just right here. And now I could feel that scar over there from where the initial tumor was taken out, some sort of pus mucus discharge is coming out of that scar. I got a little bit stressed, and I went back to my doctor oncologist in India, and he thought there was some kind of an infection. So he gave me some antibiotics for 5 days. But as the days progressed, the scar seemed as if it was becoming worse. I could feel some more pus mucus discharge coming out of that scar. Soon I again went back to my doctor, and he thought that probably it is tuberculosis because there's so much of pus coming out, and he put me on to some anti-tubercular treatment. But since it was not tuberculosis, my position deteriorated very fast, and soon I could feel as if the collarbone right here was melting. Ultimately, what happened? The pus started coming more and more. About 6 to 8 spoons of pus started coming out from here. Situation deteriorated so bad that all across my back, numerous tumors came across. It was so bad that I could not even sleep on a normal surface. I had to sleep on an airbag. Now you could see right here, one day what happened, that this collarbone here broke down. If you see right here, I'll show you. I have a new collarbone right here. If you see this region, this is a new collarbone because that initial collarbone broke down. So this is a new collarbone, what you can see right here. in this region. This is a brand new collarbone. So this collarbone also broke down, and a huge channel-like passage came up right from here to underneath the armpit. A huge channel-like passage came up right here. The situation deteriorated all that bad. The doctors in India finally gave up. They thought as if this is the last stage of cancer, because I had tumors all across my back. I had no collarbone. From year to year, there was a huge channel-like passage. It was so bad that you could put in a small remote from here and take it out from here. It was all hollow. Ultimately, the doctors here, they told my parents that yes, this is the last stage of cancer. They put about a 1 meter cloth along with betadine and bandaged me right from year to year. Ultimately, according to the doctors, this was the last stage of cancer, and maximum I had 1 month to go. Hearing this, we felt quite disgusted and we reached back to my home. Coming back home, I told my father that, Papa, I want to live. I don't want to die like this. I had a great faith in God and a positive attitude. I never gave up. Let me tell you, friends, here that I never gave up even in such circumstances. Ultimately, we checked up another hospital in the US, which was called as University of Southern California, Los Angeles, USC Medical Center. And the doctors in US said that you could bring the patient here and they could give me some research treatment which could give me a life of about 4 to 6 months. They made it very clear that under this circumstances, the cure is only a bone marrow transplant. But because the position of the patient is so bad, we can't go for a transplant, because if we go for the transplant, the patient would die at the transplant table. So they said, we'll offer some research treatment which could give a life of about 4 to 6 months. Now, since we got some ray of hope that, well, some research treatment could be offered to me and that could give me a life of 4 to 6 months, we grabbed that opportunity and we took the first flight to the United States, me, my father and mother. Now, reaching the United States, the doctor was quite surprised to see me. He says, Mr. Vaig, I've never seen such a case in my life. I can put my hand from here and take it out from here. You're all hollow. Anyhow, he again reiterated that I'll try to give you some research treatment, but that could give you a life of about 4 to 6 months. We'll try to knock down the cancer cells, but we're sure they're going to come back in about 6 months. So are you okay with that? He again reiterated that the cure is only a bone marrow transplant once more, but we can't do that because your situation is pretty bad. So we can give you an extended lifespan for about 6 months, and if you're okay with that, we'll start with the treatment. So, friends, we grabbed that opportunity. We said, okay, fine, even if we can get 6 months, that would do. So I was admitted to the hospital the same very night, reaching Los Angeles. And my treatment started from next day onwards. It was day 1, day 3, day 7. That was the regimen protocol. After about 15 to 20 days, I started feeling much better. I could feel as if my nodes were shrinking. I could feel as if I could sleep better, because until last 4 to 5 months, I was sleeping on an airbag. And now I could feel as if I can sleep better. The nodes behind my back are shrinking and I'm feeling better. My diet started improving. So friends, I was in the United States for about 2 months. After 2 months, the doctor said, yes, Mr. Vaig, we've tried to kill the cancer cells, but we are sure they would come back within the next 6 months. He made it very clear that you hardly have any cure rate. It is just that we have tried to give you some extension of life. He also told me, go to Europe, make your will, and try to enjoy the next 6 months of life, what you're left with. Now, coming to know that, my mom, she started crying. She really gave up. She thought, well, we've spent a packet, we've done so much for our son, and even in spite of that, the doctor was just giving about 6 months. Now, anyhow, coming to know that we came down back to India in the year 2004, about April. Now, coming back to India, I decided to do something different now. So friend, this was the turning point of my life. Now, when I used to practice law, I was quite fond of yoga and naturopathy. It was just like a hobby for me, but I had never ever taken that as a profession. I had done a course along with my law called Diploma in Yoga and Naturopathy from Lal Bahadur Shastri Sanskrit Vidyapeeth in New Delhi. I had come first in the university and I was also given a gold medal for that. But that was all a matter of hobby. I had never ever implemented that knowledge of yoga and food therapy onto myself. But since now I knew I don't have much life left with me, I tried to implement that knowledge of yoga, what I had learned in my course. Now, I had the basic knowledge of yoga. I had also been given a gold medal in that course. So the basic knowledge was there with me, but I had never implemented. But now what I did is, I made a set of 15 pranayamas for myself and started getting cautious of my eating habits. These 15 pranayamas had all the basic ingredients of pranayama. And I started practicing them daily, 1 hour morning and 1 hour evening. And I also started getting very cautious of my eating habits, since we had learned in our course that whatever food we eat is either good or bad for our system. So I tried to eat those foodstuffs which were good for me. Soon time passed by and I went back to the doctor in the US after 6 months. The doctor was quite surprised to see me. He said, "Mr. Vaig, you're still there. Have you been up to something?" I said, "Doctor, I'm just doing my pranayamas and I'm cautious of my eating habits." Doctor got all the scans done and the cancer was not there. So he was quite surprised. He said, "Mr. Vaig, whatever you've been doing seems to be working well on you and just continue with that." So I came down back to India and I was doing those same pranayamas and I was very cautious of my eating habits. Again, I went back to the doctor after 6 months and the cancer was still not there. So entire 2005 also passed by and the cancer was not there. After that, in 2006, I started writing my first book called Win Over Cancer, and I made a set of 4 different courses what I take now. Now friends, it's been over 11 years and the cancer never came back, and I still do those same pranayamas, 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening, and I'm very cautious of my eating habits. So friends, I owe my good health first of all to Almighty God and then to pranayama and food therapy. Now friends, remember, pranayama and food therapy is a complete science in itself. I have been now cancer free for over 11 years. I'm totally healthy. Now I would tell all my parents, I tell all my clients that to do your pranayama regularly. Friends, pranayama is a complete science in itself, and it helps in the rejuvenation of the cells of our body. The important thing is that you've got to do your pranayamas correctly. There are many people who are doing pranayamas, but they are not doing it correctly. Pranayama consists of 4 pillars: inhalation, internal retention, exhalation, and external retention. And there is a fixed ratio between these 4 pillars, which is 1:4:2:4. It's a complete science in itself, and the important thing is to do it correctly. Many people are doing pranayamas, but most of them are doing it incorrectly. So friends, pranayama is helpful in the treatment of several ailments. Pranayama is helpful in the treatment of cancer, diabetes, asthma, high blood pressure, cardiovascular diseases, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, ulcerative colitis, liver disorders, kidney disorders, thyroid disorders, depression, bipolar disorders, obesity, and several others. Pranayama is one of the best tools for stress management. Now friends, I take these following courses. The first course what I take is called a disease specific course on pranayama and food therapy, which has got 10 classes. The second course what I take is called the basic course on pranayama and food therapy, which has got 8 classes. The third course which I take is called advanced course on pranayama and food therapy, which has got 8 classes. And the fourth course which I take is called a basic course on meditation, which has got 6 classes. Now all these courses are conducted at my centers at GK1 and GK2 New Delhi. They are also conducted through internet Skype. So friends, if you're not living in Delhi, you can still do these courses over the internet Skype. Friends, I also have a residential center at GK1. So friends, if you're not living in Delhi and you want to come for these courses, you're most welcome. We have all AC rooms over there, so you can come and enjoy and do these courses right here. Another thing important what I want to tell you is that my telephone number is 099-101-78140. If you're interested in any of these courses, you're most welcome to contact me directly. I'll again tell you my number. That is 099-101-78140. Friends, now I've written 14 books. And the important ones are The Miracles of Pranayama, Win Over Cancer, The Secrets of Good Health, The Secrets of Happiness, The Joy of Meditation, The Healing Power of Fruits, Pranayama for Teenagers, and several others. So friends, in case you want to purchase any of these books, you can again call me and someone from my center would courier the books to you. Friends, my website is www.ramneekwig.com. That is www.ramneekwig.com. My Facebook address is facebook.com/The Miracles of Pranayama and Food Therapy. My personal cell number is 099-101-78140. Friends, I have over 430 videos on YouTube. You can check them out also. The YouTube address is youtube.com/Yoga Guru Ramneek Wig. Friends, let me tell you one more thing. That I offer free health tips to my clients on their cell. So if you're interested in getting free health tips on your cell every day, all you need to do is send a WhatsApp to 099-101-78140 and request that you want free health tips every day. And also feed this number in your cell phone directory, because these health tips are offered through broadcasting service of WhatsApp, and that requires the receiver to have the sender's name in his or her telephone directory. So friends, please feed this number 099-101-78140 in your telephone directory. Friends, I hope all of you good health and happiness. And friends, do have a great day ahead. Namaste and thank you so much.